ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाखाय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरून् श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सार्वधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धून एव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। I welcome you all for the Wednesday session. Thank you so much for your enthusiastic participation on every Wednesdays. This shows the eagerness of you all, that how eager you all are to read or to hear Krishna's instructions or the divine messages that Lord Krishna is trying to give us through his instructions via Arjuna. So I'll be just sharing the screen. We had completed till shloka number 15. I guess so. We start with shloka number 16. 15 we finished, 16 we'll start. I'll just unmute everybody so that you all can recite with me the shloka. So please repeat after me. Ananta Vijayam Raja
अनंत विजयम राजा
विजयं राजा
Kunti Putro Yudhishthira
कुंती
पुत्रो
युधिष्ठिरः
Nakula Sahadevascha Sughosha Manipushpakau
सुघोषमणिपुष्पकौ
काशीराजस्य परमेश्वास
काश्यश्च परमेश्वासः
शिखंडी च महारथ
शिखण्डी च महारथः
दृष्टुद्युम्नो विराटश्च सत्यकीश्चापराजित
सात्यकीश्चापराजितः
द्रौपदेयश्च
द्रुपदो द्रौपदेयश्च
सर्वस पृथ्वीपते सुभद्रश्च महाबाहु
सुभद्रश्च महाबाहु
शंखं ददमुख पृथक् पृथक्
शंखं ददमुः पृथक् पृथक्.
Thank you, devotees. So we have read actually the shloka from 16 to 18, and this is how it is given in the Bhagavad Gita, and that's how we read it, okay? So translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada says that King Yudhishthir, the son of Kunti, blew his conch shell, the Ananta Vijaya, and Nakula and Sahadev blew Sughosha, and Mani Pushpaka, That great archer, the king of Kashi, the great fighter Shikhandi, Drishtadyumna, Virata, the unconquerable Satyaki, Draupada, the sons of Draupadi, and others, O king, such as the mighty armed son of Subhadra, all blew their respective conch shells. So now what is happening over here in this purport, what Srila Prabhupada is saying, that Sanjay is informing, Dhritarashtra very tactfully, in a very, in a very, tactful way, where he's saying that that his unwise policy of deceiving the sons of Pandu and endeavoring to enthrone his own sons on the seat of the kingdom was not very laudable. The signs already clearly indicated that the whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in the great battle, beginning with the grandsire Bhishma down to the grandsons like Abhimanyu and others, including kings from many states of the world. All were present there and all were doomed. The whole catastrophe was due to King Dhritarashtra because he encouraged the policy followed by his sons. Now, if you see over here is that in the 15th shloka, they had given the names of the consuls of Lord Krishna and Arjuna. Okay, so, and over here now, if you see, okay, so everybody is able to see my screen? Yeah. So Krishna's consul name is Panchajanya. Arjuna's consul name is Devadatta. Bhima's consul name is Pondra. Right. Now over here they are saying Yudhishthir also blew his consul and his consul's name is Ananta Vijaya. Nakula is Sughosha and Sahdev is Mani Pushpaka. So everybody is blown their own consuls over here, and everybody is actually elaborately very confident. All these 5 brothers, what they have done is they are very boldly, they are blowing the conch shell, showing that yes, we have victory, very confident. So why do they have so much of confidence? Because Krishna is on their side and they are on the side of dharma. See, when you do something good, then you are very confident enough. Okay. But when you do something bad, immediately your consciousness starts biting you. Or if you do something wrong, you are always in an anxiety and there is always something troubling you that I have done something wrong, I've done something wrong. So over here, what are they trying to say is that never do something that will actually harm your own consciousness or harm your own self. So over here, everybody is blown their conch shells, but in the battlefield over here it is said that everybody will be killed by the arrangement of the Lord, because this is dharma yuddha. This is a battle to fight for religion, right? So wherever there will be irreligion, Lord Krishna will not allow that irreligion to prevail. And he will always intervene wherever there is irreligion going on. And that is why if you see in one of the shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita, which is a very famous shloka, you all know this shloka by heart. I'm sure about it. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Abhyuttanam dharmasya sridatmanam srijatmanam yuge yuge. So he's saying that wherever there will be a dharma, the Lord will come to actually protect the dharma that he has established. And wherever there will be adharma, that adharma will not prevail on this particular earth planet. So whenever there is a big, in wholesale, whenever there is a dharma, then the Lord will come. Now, if you see, sometimes the Lord will come personally, but sometimes the Lord will not come personally. And sometimes the Lord might send any of his representatives or something like this, where, in wholesale, people will be, killed, those who are doing adharma or those who have done adharma. So if you see now, 2 years back, we had the COVID, right? And in that, so many people died. So sometimes when there is too much of adharma done, then the Lord will send something like this, where the adharma will not prevail in as such. So this is what they say. Srila Prabhupada is trying to say in this particular shloka, that there is no place for adharma to prevail anywhere. Wherever the devotees of the Lord are troubled, or when there is too much of irreligion spread it on the, and that is why you see every millennium the Lord comes in. The Lord came in Satyuga, the Lord came in Treta Yuga, the Lord came in Dwapar Yuga, as Krishna himself, to protect the Pandavas. So this is how the Lord is always eager to protect his devotees. Okay, so let's go to the next shloka. We'll try to see how many shlokas we can complete today, okay? So please repeat after me. Saghosho dhartarashtraणam
सघोषोधार्तराष्ट्राणाम्
hridayane vyadarayat
हृदयानि व्यदारयत्
nabhascha prithvischa chaiveya
नभश्च पृथिवीं चैव
tumullo abhyu nunadyan.
तुमुलोऽभ्यनुनादयन्.
Thank you so much. The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. So when Bhima and others on the side of Bhishma, when Bhishma and the others on the side of Duryodhana blew their respective conch shells, there was no heartbreaking on the part of the Pandavas. Such occurrences are not mentioned, but in this particular verse, it is mentioned that the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra were shattered by the sounds vibrated by the Pandavas' party. This is due to the Pandavas and their confidence in Lord Krishna. One who takes shelter of the Supreme Lord has nothing to fear, even in the midst of the greatest calamities. So if you see over here, they're saying that anybody who's taking shelter of the Supreme Lord has no fear at all, because he knows that whenever I'm taking the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, I don't need to fear about anything. Even I don't need to fear about old age. I don't need to fear about death. I don't need to fear about diseases also. Because a devotee of the Lord knows that all these things are coming on accord of my own past misdeeds or my past miskarmas. But the Lord, who is so kind to me, he's actually reducing my karmas, and he's giving me just a token punishment. And that is why if you see, the devotees of the Lord are abhaya. Jinko koi bhay nahi rehta hai, they are called abhay. And Srila Prabhupada's name is also Abhay. So that's how the devotees of the Lord will never fear in any situation. Even if they are put in some precarious situation and the most difficult situation, still what will they do? They will always take the shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. And that's how even the Pandavas, every time a calamity came, if you see, they were always taking the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna. And whenever there was such a calamity come, the Lord is always eager to help his pure devotees more than the pure devotees are, eager to ask some help from the Lord. So now if you see over here, there are, okay, this is maybe a wrong. I wanted to show this slide, okay. If you see over here, there are different names of Lord Krishna, Arjuna and Bhima in this particular thing. In this whole, if you see chapter 1 or in these subsequent shlokas, what does the name Krishna mean? Many of you all might be knowing this. Just say, every person has a name. For example, if a girl's name is Suman, the word Suman means flower, right? Kavita means, a poem or, a very nice melodious, Geet or song. So Krishna means all attractive. Rishikesha means the master of the senses or owner of the senses. Madhava means the husband of the goddess of fortune. Achyuta means the infallible one. So these are names of Krishna, okay, so far going on. Govinda means go means cows and Inda means, senses. One who gives pleasure to the senses or the cows. So if you see, whenever we take the name of the Lord, we say Krishna, we say Govind, we say Gopal, immediately our heart becomes very happy, or immediately we come in a very nice state of mind. So that is why the name Govinda means only the one who is giving pleasure to the senses of every living entity. Or go means cow also, or giving, pleasure to the cows also. And this is Vasudeva. See, there are two things, okay? There is Vasudev and there is Vasudev. So Vasudev is Krishna's father. And Vasudev is Krishna himself. The fourth quadruple, one of the fourth quadruples of Krishna is, Vasudev Krishna. Shankarshan, Vasudev, Anirudh, and Pradyumna. That way. Devaki Nandan. Krishna is known by his mother's name also, son of Devaki. Yashoda Nandan, because Mother Yashoda, appraised him. She actually cared for him and she loved him so much. That's why he's called Yashoda Nandan. Then he is called Partha Sarthi. One of the names of Arjuna is Partha. And Partha Sarthi, he even went to that extent of becoming a chauffeur or a driver of the chariot of his own best friend, Partha or Arjuna. Then Keshava, the killer of demon Kesi. So he had killed one of the demons called Kesi. If you all know, you must have seen Little Krishna many times. So this part, and that is why he's called Keshava. Janardhana, Janardhan, Jan ko aadhar dene wale, Janardhan, maintainer of all living entities or killer of all living entities. So primarily we try to see that maintainer, he is maintaining everything over here. Okay. Now let's come to, the names of Arjuna. Arjuna's one name is Dhananjaya because he conquered a lot of wealth with his own valor and vigor at many places. Then he is called Partha also because he is the son of Pritha, Kunti Devi. Kunti Devi's another name is Pritha. Okay. So he is called Partha also. And then he is called Guda Kesha. Guda and Kesha. Guda Kesha means that one who has conquered his sleep also. So somebody might ask that how can somebody conquer his sleep? So once what had happened is that when this war was going on, this battle was going on, and Arjuna was in deep sleep, and Krishna was finding Arjuna because he wanted to discuss something for the next day's battle. And Krishna is hunting, but he's not. But somewhere in remote place, Krishna was hearing his own name, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. So Krishna is wondering who's taking my name. I'm over here, but who's taking my name? So he goes around and he sees that Arjuna is in deep sleep. So he sees, okay, there is no voice over here, but somewhere where Arjuna is sleeping, the voice is coming from there only. So Krishna is hunting, where is the voice coming from? And then Krishna puts his ears on the body of Arjuna. And from there, this voice is coming, Krishna, Krishna. So wherever Krishna on Arjuna's body put his ear, from that part of the body, his name was being spoken. So everywhere, like if Krishna has put his, ear on the back of Arjuna, because Arjuna was actually sleeping on his stomach. So from there, Krishna, Krishna, on the hand, Krishna, Krishna, from the feet, Krishna, Krishna is coming. Which means what? That even when Arjuna was sleeping, he was completely conscious of only Krishna. And that is how, when we sleep, we go into some very different state of mind, right? We go into some dream world or something, which troubles us during the day or which has troubled us during our past. So that's how we get troubled, and we don't remember the Lord when we are actually in a sleeping state, right? But Arjuna was remembering the Lord even in a sleeping state. And that is why he has conquered his sleep, because he is remembering the Lord 24/7. And that's why he's called Gudakesha. Then Vrikodara, we know Bhima, that he's a ferocious eater and he can perform Herculean tasks. I told you about the story of Bhima also. So these are some different names of Krishna, Bhima, and Arjuna. What they are actually trying to say over here. Now let us see that, why is Krishna, called Rishikesha? So Krishna is called Rishikesha because he's the owner of all senses. He directs the senses of all living entities in terms of their surrender. Here in the battle, he directly controls the transcendental senses of Arjuna. See, the Lord is trying to, the Lord is the owner of the senses of every living entity. He is not only the owner of the senses of human beings, but even animals, ants, microbes, small to small, even, living entities. And he is directing the senses of all the living entities in terms of their surrender. In terms of the surrender means what? So say, for example, I surrender to the Lord 10%. The Lord will surrender to me 100%. If I surrender 5%, then he will surrender 50%. It means 10 times more the Lord will actually come to help me, or the Lord becomes, obliged to me. And over here, if you see, Arjuna is a very, very pure devotee of the Lord. And that is why he is controlling the senses of Arjuna. See, in the battlefield, it is not very easy to fight, with arms and, weapons and everything. Now, what is happening is that when Arjuna is fighting, and there is a chaos everywhere going on, right? From all directions. And now, if Arjuna has to, shoot an arrow in the, left hand side or right hand side, it might happen that he might get, confused, or there is no clarity with him. And that's how Krishna intervenes with the senses of Arjuna, so that he should not lose the battlefield. Now, Arjuna is called Dhananjaya because he helped his elder brother in fetching wealth when it was required by the king to conduct different sacrifices. So when Yudhishthir Maharaj was supposed to conduct a sacrifice, that's where Arjuna went and fought with many, many kings, and he was able to bring in the wealth that was required to conduct the Rajasuya Yagya. Okay. And Bhima, because he could eat voraciously. Now over here, what they're saying is that Sanjay informed Dhritarashtra that very tactfully, that a sign that, they're definitely going to lose. The Kauravas are not going to win, and the Pandavas are only going to win. But what has happened is that the Dhritarashtra was to be, he was encouraging Dhritarashtra so that over there, sitting in the palace, he should not become demotivated or should not become dejected. And that's why Sanjay was also giving us a hope to Dhritarashtra in some way. Okay. So now if we see in the next shloka, the next shloka is a bit important shloka. अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा
अथ
व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा
दृष्ट्वा
धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वज
धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः
प्रवृत्ते शास्त्र संपाते
प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते
सम्पाते
धनुरुद्यम्य पांडव
धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः
ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम्
ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम्
इदम् आह महीपते.
इदमाह महीपते.
So, okay, what is Srila Prabhupada saying in the translation? Saying, at that time, Arjuna, the son of Pandu, seated in the chariot, bearing the flag marked with Hanuman, took up his bow and prepared to shoot his arrows. O king, after looking at the sons of Dhritarashtra drawn in military array, Arjuna then spoke to Lord Krishna these words. Okay, so now in the consequent, shlokas, Arjuna is going to speak. So let's see this particular purport. The battle was about to begin. It is understood from the above statement that the sons of Dhritarashtra were more or less disheartened by the unexpected arrangement of military force by the Pandavas, who were guided by the direct instructions of Lord Krishna on the battlefield. The emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna is another sign of victory because Hanuman cooperated with Lord Ram in the battle between Ram and Ravana, and Lord Ram emerged victorious. Now both Rama and Hanuman were present on the chariot of Arjuna to help him. Lord Krishna is Ram himself, and wherever Lord Ram is, his eternal servitor, his Das, Hanuman and his eternal consort Sita, the goddess of fortune, are present. Therefore, Arjuna had no cause to fear any enemies whatsoever. And above all, the Lord of the senses, Lord Krishna, was personally present to give him direction. Thus, all good counsel was available to Arjuna in the matter of executing the battle. In such auspicious conditions, arranged by the Lord for his eternal devotee, lay the signs of assured victory. Now you see, even Arjuna, see, Lord Hanuman is called Kapidhwaja, okay? And even Hanuman is called Kapidhwaja. I'll just explain here in a minute or two. Let me just share the screen with you all. Yeah. So now if you see, there are these signs of victory. Okay. Everybody is able to see the screen? Okay. So
Yes, Mataji.
yeah, these are the signs of victory for the Pandavas. These are some of the reasons we have extracted from the different shlokas that why will the Pandavas emerge victorious? Firstly, because Krishna's personal presence confirms the victory. Wherever there will be Lord Krishna, there will definitely be victory. Jayastu Pandu Putram Yesham. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the charioteer. He's, in control. We think that we are in control, but actually our lives are controlled by the Supreme Lord. Krishna as Rishikesha directly controls the senses of a pure devotee. Even in our lives, the Lord is in control. If we understand this, that Lord is controlling my life. And mostly if you see pure devotees, their only attitude is that, yes, Meri Dori Tere Haath. You are in control, Krishna. Whatever you do with me, you keep me, you reject me, you kick me, you accept me. Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, he says that Ashlishava Padarama Pinashtuma Maddarshana Marmahata Karotuva Yatha Tathava Vidadhatu Lampato Mat Prana Nastatu Se Eva Napara. So he's telling Lord Chaitanya, who is in the role of a devotee, who's Krishna himself, came 500 years ago. He's saying that Krishna, whether you accept me or you reject me, I will be your servant birth after birth, birth after birth, birth after birth, eternally. Eternally and permanently. So that's how, the devotees think that, we are not in control and Krishna is in control. Then the second sign of victory was the goddess of fortune, who is Lord Krishna's consort. Consort means wife, companion. Whenever and wherever the Lord is present, the goddess of fortune is also there. Wherever there will be Narayan, there will be Lakshmi always. She never lives without her husband, and therefore all fortune is guaranteed. So, which means what? Wherever there is worship of Lord Krishna going on, there will be no dearth, there will be no shortage of Lakshmi in that particular house. Three things the Lord always assures. Wherever there is worship of Lord going on, in any house, in any place, there are three things guaranteed. There will be always, you will get food, you will get shelter, and you will get clothing. These three things the Lord will never keep anybody bereft of. So that is why wherever there is worship of Krishna going on, there will be no dearth of Mother Lakshmi over there. Then the third sign is the venue, the place. So Kurukshetra is a holy place. And that is why that effect of that holy place will always have on the war. What is the effect of that holy place? That on a particular holy place, there will be no adharma prevailing. And in case there is adharma prevailing, then it will be swiped off or it will be wiped off. So there will always be victory over there. Whoever are righteous people, they will always emerge out to be victorious. The fourth sign is Hanumanji on Arjuna's flag. Now, if you see, this is a very important, important indication that how Hanumanji from Ramayana is, into, Mahabharat, and how come Hanumanji is, on Arjuna's flag, and how did he reach over there? So this actually story goes back in such a way. I'll just share with you all the screen so that it becomes a bit easy for you all. Not able to share the screen. I think I'm not able to share the screen. Okay, I'll just tell you all the story, what exactly it is. So what had happened exactly is that if we see in our lives, we find in our material endeavors, we often invoke a name for memory of someone as, bringing some good luck, right? And even if you see in the lives of these athletes, what do athletes do? They often carry a good luck charm given to them by some, legendary sports person or something. And they also remember the accomplishments of the previous athletes prior to, having some performance that they do on the field. And even if you see politicians also, they are also invoking some great leader's name, to make that speech very important. Now, all these ways, they're trying to ensure that, okay, we should have success in our venture. And when entering into a particular new field or starting with a new task, what are we doing? What do? We try to consult those who have previously, been able to win the battle or win the, sports competition or something like that. So the successful have the necessary experience and wisdom to help us achieve victory, since they have gone through that similar changes in their lives. Now, in the same way, in order for us to be successful in spiritual life, what should we do? We must also consult great devotees of the past. Now, sometimes you might say, oh, great devotees of the past are not there on this earth planet. They have gone back home, back to God. Then what do? Then you consult the immediate living great devotees who are there and who experience them. Now, to a normal person, it might seem that, okay, Arjuna's task prior to the start of Kurukshetra war seemed to be that, of a warrior just trying to achieve some victory on his own side. But in actuality, since he was following the direct orders of Lord Krishna, who is the supreme personality of Godhead, his task was actually that of performing devotional service to God or Krishna. And because of this, Arjuna's chariot was decorated with a flag bearing the emblem of Lord Hanuman. Now, if you see Hanuman in Lord Krishna's previous incarnation as Lord Ram, there was a demon named Ravana who, kidnapped Sita, and, Hanuman, who is like Vanara, great devotee of the Lord. He carried out the orders of the Lord, and he helped Lord Ram to defeat Ravana and rescue his own wife Sita. Now, if you see, Arjuna is also actually involved in a very similar task of performing devotional service to the Lord. But Arjuna made it sure to invoke the memory of Krishna's great devotee Hanuman. In our normal also day-to-day, lives, if we see, we tend to forget things that we do, services that we, services that we provide for people, and things that others have done for us, others who have done good to us. So the Lord, on the other hand, he will never forget any service that you perform for him. Be it you have just even offered a tulsi leaf to him, or a flower to him, or a fruit to him, or even water if you have offered to the Lord will never forget. Like in the case of Sudama, the Lord never forgot even, some 3 handful of, chipped rice. And in return, Krishna gave so much to Sudama. So now he made sure that Hanuman would always be famous as a great devotee. Who made this sure? Krishna made it sure. Now, and he also made sure that the name of Hanuman would be, synonymous with victory. Victory yaane Hanuman. Exactly synonyms name. In Hindi, what do you call? Samanarthi Shabda. So would be synonym in victory in devotional service. So this is one lesson that we take from, the great devotees like Hanuman, and we should ask for their mercy in helping us to serve. Now, Arjuna already had God acting on as his charioteer. So he had no, cause for, taking some tension or any concern. But he was simply remembering Hanuman, and his success was guaranteed. Now, this is God's promise to us. By always remembering Krishna's great devotees and following the example that they have set forth, we will never meet defeat in our devotional service to the Lord. So, one is that we are trying to worship the Supreme Lord, but we are trying to remember his great devotees. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita itself says that those who say are my devotees directly are not my devotees. But those who say are my devotees devotee, they are my real devotee. Devotees devotee यानी क्या? दासानु दास. मेरे दासों के भी दास अगर आप अपने आप को कहते हो, वाकई में आप मेरे दास हो. And I accept only such people who are the devotees of my pure devotees. And that's how Lord Hanuman is there on the flag of Arjuna's chariot as a blessing to Arjuna to, be victorious in that particular, battlefield as such. So let's go to the next one. I had one more sign of this. Where did it go? Yeah, I'll just share. So see, symbol of Vishnu. So the 5th sign of, victory is that the conch shell is a symbol of Vishnu. Now you see, when do we blow a conch shell? When somebody is victorious, right? But over here, before victory, only everybody is blowing the conch shell. So Lord is blowing his conch shell, which means what? The Lord is directly declaring, you all do whatever you all want to do, but by my arrangement, the Pandavas will always be victorious. This is indirectly indicated by Bhishma and Pandavas' conch shells. Okay. Then the 6th sign of victory is transcendental conch shells. So see, Krishna's conch shell is not some ordinary conch shell. It is transcendental. It is divya. And definitely any dhvani or any sound coming from Krishna's conch shell is always going to purify the hearts of his devotees and create a fear in the heart of the demons. So that's is the importance of this transcendental shell. So even if you see, in the temple, okay, this or even in your house, if you see Bengalis, Bengalis, they will always blow a conch shell in their house. Anything they have while doing their puja archana. So even we blow conch shells on a very daily basis in our house also. What is the importance of blowing a conch shell in the house or in the temple also? So when you blow a conch shell in the temple, what happens is that whatever impurities are there in our heart, they immediately get vanished. Whatever fear also you have in your heart gets immediately vanished. Whatever anxiety you have in your heart, it gets immediately vanished. And always there will be divinity prevailing in your heart whenever we hear the sound of the conch shell in the temple or even in your own homes. Okay, so anything inauspiciousness is there in the house or anything inauspiciousness prevailing around, that everything gets actually evaporated or eradicated. Okay, so this is the importance of the conch shell. And what is the pramana? So now somebody will ask that, Mataji, nowadays we get, very much artificial conch shells. How do we make it sure that we get, original conch shell? So there is a test for, testing whether it is a, original conch shell or it is a, artificial conch shell. So you take a big drum and to the bottom of the drum, you keep that conch shell. And on that drum, you keep on pouring either rice or either, wheat, okay, which is not, grinded. So you keep on pouring, rice till it does not come up to the brim. After a few minutes, what will happen is, if it is an original conch shell, that conch shell will come up to the top level of the drum. And that is the proof that this is a original conch shell. If it is not an original conch shell, then it will stay to the bottom only. It will not come up automatically. So this is the test of a conch shell. So the Lord's conch shell is very transcendental. Okay. And you get original conch shell somewhere near the seaside, either in Bengal, Orissa side or down south side. Okay. Okay. Then Bhishma's conch shell to pacify Duryodhana. So this is one of the signs of victory. Agnidev's chariot given to Arjuna, capable of conquering all directions. We actually saw this in the past lectures, that how Arjuna had conquered Agnidev's chariot also, how he had pleased Agnidev and he had got this chariot. So this chariot's speciality is that it can move in all directions and it is able to, Arjuna was able to shoot in all directions standing in one place. So that is the speciality of this particular chariot. And the ninth sign of victory is that the conscience of Pandavas shattered Kauravas' hearts. Pandavas' hearts were not shattered because of confidence of taking shelter of Krishna. So when will a person's heart get shattered? When he is not taking 100% shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Then he will always be in bhai or fear always. Why? Because anybody who is doing a dharma or who is, doing some religious activity, he will not take the shelter of the Lord. But in case, somewhere if he is wrong and he's taking the shelter, but if he takes the shelter of the Lord, he will immediately come from the adharma state to the dharma state. And, going forward, he will not do anything adharma, because Anybody who surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that person is awarded full protection by the Lord. And this is what Lord has actually promised Arjuna or his devotees in the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so this is one sign of victory that is there. And then we saw this. Okay, let's go to the Arjuna is a short victory. Okay, we just discussed this. Well, let's see how much we can complete today. Or I should stop for question answer session. Maybe we'll stop at shloka number 20 and let's take some question answers. If anybody has any questions. So there's a question in the chat. Can you clarify meanings of other names? Pradyumna it was, sorry. Anirudh? Okay. Okay, I'll just answer this Rupa Raju's Prabhu's questions. Didn't get the testing, but how will conch move on its own? No, we don't get the conch in ISKCON and VCC Gupcha. So see, the first question Rupa Raju Prabhu is asking me is that what is Anirudh, Pradyumna, Vasudeva and all? So see, when you say in a hierarchy, okay, so in a hierarchy, if you see Krishna is first, and the very first expansion from Krishna's right hand side is Lord Balaram. From Balaram comes Mahashankarshan. And from Mahashankarshan, then these four quadruples will come. That is Shankarshan, Anirudh, Pradyumna, and Vasudev. These four quadruples will come. Then from Shankarshan only three more Vishnus will come. So what are those three Vishnus? Those three Vishnus are Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu, and Karnodakshay Vishnu. Okay. But before that, from Shankarshan, Mahavishnu comes, and from Mahavishnu, then these three Vishnus come. I will post it on the group, you know, this whole hierarchy. It is very nice to know this hierarchy, so that it is very nice. And, you know, even there are different functions. What is the function of Shankarshan and what is the function of Mahashankarshan? What is the function of Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Shirodakshay Vishnu, Karnodakshay Vishnu? This all I have a chart of that. I'll just post it. If somebody will just remind me, maybe on a personal chat, or I'll put it on the WhatsApp group itself. So, and that's how, you know, this hierarchy goes. Then from Garbhodakshay Vishnu, Lord Brahma, you know, emerges, because from the navel of that Garbhodakshay Vishnu, on the lotus flower is Lord Brahma born. Okay. And from Brahma's these two eyebrows, then Rudra is born. When Brahma gets angry, then Rudra is born. Rudra means Lord Shiva is born. Okay. And that's how, you know, then all the living entities, Brahma creates living entity. But let us understand that all these living entities are a part and parcel of the Lord. Jaise, you know, you've seen that fuljadi, what you know, burn in the Diwali times, there are so many sparks coming out from that fuljadi. We are also those, like those sparks coming out from the Lord. And we have come from the Lord, we are part and parcel. Jaise, for example, this my hand is a part and parcel of my body. I cannot separate my hand from my body, right? Similarly, we are also part and parcel of the Lord. We have come from the Lord and we have to go to the lotus feet of the Lord, not merge in, but go to the lotus feet of the Lord. Okay. So this is what answers the question to the first question. Then, can you tell us importance of Kurukshetra place? Maybe you must have attended a little late. Maybe please go and refer to the previous classes. I've explained in detail the importance of Kurukshetra place. And do Ram avatar came first or Krishna came first? So yes, Krishna came first, and from Mahavishnu, when you say Krishna, then Balram, then Mahashankarshan, then Shankarshan, then from Shankarshan, Mahavishnu. From Mahavishnu, Bhagwan ki jitne bhi avatar hai, how many ever incarnations the Lord is taking, all these incarnations are coming via Mahavishnu only. But the original is Krishna. So first Krishna and then Lord Ram. And last time did I discuss last time? No, maybe I discussed it in a Bhakti Shastri class. So what is the difference between Lord Ram and Lord Krishna? There are four qualities that distinguish Krishna from Ram, and that is Krishna's Rupa Madhuri, Guna Madhuri, Nama Madhuri, and Venu Madhuri. So only Venu means the flute. So only Krishna is that God who is having flute, nobody else has flute. And Rupa Madhuri, the most beautiful of all in this creation is Lord Krishna. Guna Madhuri, Krishna has 64 qualities, Lord Ram has 60 qualities. So, qualitatively, they might not be the same, but quantity-wise, they are one and the same. Okay, there is no difference between Lord Krishna and Lord Ram. The mood is the same. They came for the same reason on this earth planet. And even if somebody is saying Lord Ram's name, that is also right. And if somebody is taking Lord Krishna's name, that is also right. The benefit, you will get the same benefit. That is love of God. Okay, that way. So, didn't get the testing part. How will conch shell move by its own? That is actually because if it is an original conch shell, that automatically it will move up. Okay. And Nakul Prabhu saying thank you. Okay, Prabhu, welcome. If Krishna came first, then how come Hanuman is there on the flag? Yes. So if you see that most of the characters of Ramayana, they are there in Krishna Leela also. Many characters of Ram Leela, they have come in Krishna Leela also in hidden forms. And maybe I will give that list also. And that is why even if you see that even one of the names of Arjuna is Kapi Dhwaja. Kapi Dhwaja means victory. Wherever he is, there will be victory. And because he has taken shelter of Lord Hanuman, that is why he'll always come out to be, because he's taking the shelter of a pure devotee of the Lord, Hanuman, and that is why he'll come out always victorious. Because Hanuman also was experienced in Ram Leela. Now, how come did Lord Ram win that whole battle with Ravana? It was only because of Hanuman, Lord Ram was able to win that particular battle. So the bridge was built and Lord Hanuman, crossed that Lanka and he bought all the information. And that's how Lord Ram was able to win. Though Lord in itself is very, self-sufficient. He does not need, but he wanted to give the credit of his victory to his pure devotee. And over here also, on Arjuna's flag, he is actually saying that whether you are in the past or present and in the future, you will always be acknowledged by whatever you have done in Ram Leela for time eternity to come. Your seva will never be forgotten any time in any millennium. You will be always remembered, and this is the glory of Lord Hanuman, that Lord Ram or Lord Krishna will always glorify Lord Hanuman in every incarnation or every avatara they take in any millennium. Okay, so this is the I have given crisp answers. I'm not given answers in very detail. Okay. Can you give us time frame that this took place, both Ramayana and Mahabharata? Mahabharata only, no? Okay. Ramayana was in Treta Yuga and Mahabharata took in Dwapar Yuga. So there were many lakhs and lakhs of years going on. So if you see, every yuga is consisting of some like 4,32,000 years, which goes on. So if in Treta Yuga and to Dwapar Yuga, and Mahabharata happened right at the end of Dwapar Yuga. So almost you can say, 8 lakh, 8 lakh earth wale jo years hai, early years jo hai, that much time the difference was in between both the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. Okay. Any more questions? Very intelligent questions. Rupa Raju Prabhu is asking. I don't know whether it is a Prabhu or a Mata. Please forgive me for this. Okay. Any more questions anybody has? You all are free to ask. You can raise your hands if you all want and you can ask, or you all can unmute yourselves and you all can ask. So if there are no questions, then we halt for the day and we meet next Wednesday. I hope everybody is understanding the just what we're trying to say. There are many, many application points in this. And if we start applying the Bhagavad Gita in our lives, we will find ourselves in a more peaceful and a contented way. If you see, it's the book distribution month going on. And I always tell people that Arjuna was in utter confusion. So from confusion, he went to clarity. And we also have a lot of confusions in our life also. And if we want to really, come out of many confusions, then read the Bhagavad Gita and all your confusions will be off. Why? Because the confusion is with our senses and our mind. And Krishna is the master of our senses, Rishikesha. He will help us to get out of all that confusions and clarity and give us a lot of good clarity about what we want in life. Okay. Yes. Ramayana happened first and then Mahabharata, and that's why Hanuman is on the flag of Arjuna. Yes. Yeah, so when we'll finish chapter 1, I will definitely share all these slides with you all. But if I start sharing slides with you all, the next slides will not be remaining suspense, and the whole suspense will be killed. So that's why I'm not sharing. But yes, after every chapter, I'll be sharing my notes, and there are some extra notes that I've prepared on the Word file. Those also notes I will definitely share with you all, so that it will be very useful for you all in future also. Fine. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.